The U.S. has enjoyed such decadence for so long that Americans genuinely lack the imagination to conceive of how bad things can get and how quickly. We are not God's special shiny city upon a hill. It can happen here. We are watching it happen in real time.
Hey, they're freaks. It's time again. Andy and Merlin, your cursed best friends. Flames rise high, don't even try. 'Cause we're all gonna die!
All right, everyone, this is Merlin and Andy, another episode of We Are All Going to Die, and we have a special guest, Patrick. He's on here. He loves to talk about politics, and he's very insightful. And it's a pleasure to have him on the show. So we're going to talk about what happened for this week. I'm going to show you guys a video first and to the audience. And so we'll go from there and we'll discuss and then just chime in when you want to, guys. Okay. Oh, and to make sure I cancel my Disney subscription. Okay, Patrick?
Oh, yeah.
I have that on here too.
My kids are pissed.
I'm sorry. We'll talk about that.
I actually explained it to them.
Oh, you did?
And they were I was trying to explain it in the simplest ways. I brought Miles.
And their level, right?
Yeah, and I've brought Miles to a couple of protests. He's already been to 2 protests. So.
Right. Does he understand it?
He understands that, he knows who we're protesting. He's just not a fan of them either. I mean, I don't know if that's grooming, but hey.
So when did you tell him about the Disney cancellation?
I'm sorry, today on the way to school. As a list, I hope you watched Elio, because Elio came out and they were wanting to watch it. I was like, hope you watched it last night. We're getting rid of Disney Plus today. And so, and they were like, why? And I was like, well, it's kind of like, how did I describe it, man? I got to put myself in there. It's really hard. But let's watch this video and then we can get
Let's
back.
watch the video first. Okay, yeah, you can think
Fascism is based on the absolute power of a strong leader. The state controls everything. Nationalism is central. The nation is seen as superior and others are devalued. The media is strictly controlled to secure the regime's power. Propaganda is a key tool to manipulate the population. Racism is another characteristic. Certain groups are considered inferior and are persecuted. Militarism plays a major role. Violence and war are used to achieve the state's goals. In summary, absolute power, nationalism, media control, racism, and militarism, these are the key features of fascism.
Fascism is a political ideology that emphasizes strong, centralized control, usually by a dictatorial leader. It often involves strict social and economic regulation and the suppression of opposition. Think about Italy under Mussolini or Germany under Hitler. Both are classic examples of fascist regimes. But fascism isn't just a thing of the past. Today we can see elements of it in various countries where leaders prioritize nationalism and suppress dissent. For instance, we can see many traits of fascism in North Korea, China, Iran, and many other countries with their strict control over citizens and suppression of opposition. Fascism thrives on unity and fear, often scapegoating certain groups to consolidate power. Understanding its characteristics can help us recognize and challenge it in our own times. Name a country that is displaying fascist traits currently.
Democrats are proposing to pack the courts with lawless activist judges. We have one. We must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda. She destroyed San Francisco. For the past 9 years, we've been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces anywhere on earth. We have a great country. We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved. I'm only fairness, but we will be brave, and we have a great country. We have radical left lunatics out there, and we just have to beat the hell out of them. This is the most important election we've ever had, because our country is going to hell. It's going to hell. Together, we're going to defeat crooked Joe Biden, the most crooked president in history, the most incompetent president in history. We're going to take back the White House. The monument itself and fiercely defended our great American heroes from the Marxist and communist maniacs who were trying to blast them. They would have blasted that incredible work right off the face of that very beautiful mountain. Yet today, under Joe Biden, the Marxists, fascists, and communists are not just tearing down statues. They're tearing down our economy. They're dismantling our borders. They're destroying our laws. They're looting our middle class, mutilating our children. They're mutilating our children. Who would imagine?
You see all day long are crazy Democrats screeching on TV on behalf of foreign terrorists, hardened criminals, and violent illegal aliens. A political party exclusively dedicated to protecting terrorists, criminals, gangbangers, and murderers.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything, and that's across the aisle.
Aligned with the Democrat Party.
We have radical left lunatics out there, and we just have to beat the hell out of them.
Root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country.
You can't call someone who you disagree with or simply can't win an argument with a fascist, a dictator, a greatest threat to democracy in the history of civilization.
You've never heard one person from the left complaining about a social media company, shutting them out of their account, demonetizing them, deplatforming them, again, getting lockouts for liking a post of someone else's that's on the conservative side. It's a one-way street. I want to see freedom of speech. I want to see everyone be able to have everything, but that's not what we have today. You have a one-side bias that's so flagrant and extreme, and I hope that people realize that and see that in the book. And I hope those want to come out will come out on November 8th to the Barnes & Noble over by the Villages and see, and they can hear me say it for myself.
Triggered, How the Left Thrives on Hate and Wants to Silence Us is available now. Thanks for joining us, Don.
Joe Biden and the radical left are now coming for our freedom of speech. They want to bully us into submission. If they get their way, it will no longer be the silent majority. It will be the silenced majority. This has to stop. Freedom of expression used to be a liberal value, at least before the radical left took over. Because unlike Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats, our party is open to everyone. It starts by rejecting radicals who want to drag us into the dark and embracing the man who represents a bright and beautiful future for all.
She's an evil, sick, crazy bitch. Oh, no. It starts with a B, but I won't say it. The true divide in American politics today is between these far-left fascists led by Harris and her group. And you know who her group is. This is just one thing. It's all corrupt. She's corrupt. She's a corrupt person. I'm running against a totally corrupt person. And I'm really not running against her. I'm running against a corrupt machine called the Democrat Party.
The president also sought to assign blame, saying, quote, "We're dealing with a radical left group of lunatics, and they don't play fair, and they never did."
We have a communist running for the mayor of New York, and I wish him well. I may have to deal with him. I mean, it's not even conceivable. We must defeat Comrade Kamala Harris. I use that term because you know what that term means, right? Communist. She's a Marxist, communist, fascist, socialist. She's not actually a socialist. She's gone past that. Remember, I used to say, America will never be a socialist country. Actually, they skipped past socialism. They started at communism.
President Trump again is criticizing what he calls the radical left, whom he blames for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The president says while he wants the country to heal, he also referred to the radical left as lunatics. He vowed.
If we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
enforcement that was used for the last 4 years to harass and attack conservatives, to harass and attack Christians, to go after law-abiding families.
The Democrat Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien killers and terrorists. The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization.
We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved.
Striking fear in the hearts of liberals everywhere, folks.
Liberals beware.
The Green New Deal and socialism.
Democrats fight for their socialist agenda every single day. I'll fight even harder to stop them. I'm Marjorie Greene, Republican for Congress. Save America, stop socialism.
It's the DC gang!
Well, if it isn't Big Jim Lynn.
We're tired of being pushed around.
And open borders.
And gas prices.
It's time for a showdown.
I'm Eric Greitens, Navy SEAL, and today we're going rhino hunting. The rhino feeds on corruption and is marked by the stripes of cowardice. Join the MAGA crew. Get a rhino hunting permit. There's no bagging limit, no tagging limit, and it doesn't expire until we save our country.
Arizona Congressman Paul Gosar stood in the well on the House floor, flanked by GOP lawmakers as the censure resolution was read against him. Only 2 Republicans joined Democrats in censuring Gosar and stripping him of his committee assignment after he posted an animated video of himself flying in the sky, appearing to murder New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and going after President Biden with swords.
Bring out beds! Bring out beds!
Our great vice president comes through for us. He's a great guy. Of course, if he doesn't come through, I won't like him quite as much.
President Trump tonight trashing Dr. Anthony Fauci, complaining to his campaign staff about the government's top infectious disease expert.
People are tired of hearing Fauci and all these idiots. Every time he goes on television, there's always a bomb. But there's a bigger bomb if you fire him.
That's Fauci, who has served under 6 presidents, now needing personal security because of death threats.
I don't want to hurt him. He's been there for about 350 years. I don't want to hurt him.
Brian Krasenstein responded, killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. And then J.D. Vance responded, quote, I don't give a shit what you call it.
99% of this city has been terrorized by 1% of the city. And the voices that you hear out there, those crazy communists, they have no roots, they have no connections to the city, they have no families they are raising in this city, they have no one that they are sending to school in this city, they have no jobs in this city, they have no connections to this community at all. We are not going to let the communists destroy a great American city, let alone the nation's capital. And let's just also address one other thing. All these demonstrators that you've seen out here in recent days, all of these elderly white hippies, they're not part of the city and never have been. And by the way,
days from now, we are going to defeat a communist known as Kamala Harris. Most radical left person ever to run for office. This is not what this country needs.
The Democrat Party, Sean, is terrorizing the American people. Just think about what is happening in our major cities, the bloodbaths every single weekend. One victim after another, one shooting after another, one murder after another. When you have Democrat politicians like Pritzker
and Newscomb that are freeing illegal alien pedophiles, illegal alien child abductors, illegal alien murderers back into our streets to kidnap people, to beat them senseless, to stab them and shoot them to death? This is terrorism being waged against the American people. And the dangerous cities in America are all run by Democrats. Democrat city councils, Democrat mayors, Democrat politicians at every level. And it's not just the top 10. It goes much deeper than that. Every major city in America that is besieged by violence, mayhem, and bloodshed and narco trafficking are run by Democrats. Look, this has become their religion. Celebrating criminals, celebrating predators, celebrating illegal aliens who prey on our citizens.
But you have people spreading nonsense, spreading hate to try to take over that room. That's the real issue.
No, it's because you're not making your parents proud by being rude and disruptive and discourteous. We are happy to answer a question. Respect the people around you so that they can hear. You don't play by the same rules. Let me tell you something. I bet you engage and go on online dating because you're impressing no one here to get a date in person.
So here's the thing, though. A significant part of this protesting wasn't from a group on the left. This was actually right-wing activists who were protesting.
We don't have to. We feel so compassionate because you see the mental health crisis happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not our job. We shouldn't have to live in fear while they figure out what's going on right there.
Right.
Put them in a mental institution, put them in a jail, and you guys figure it out. But people having to duck and dive on the trains and the buses, walking through the street, this is one case, but this is happening all across the country, and it's not a money issue. They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. The Civil Rights Act was a mistake. More cops should be around your neighborhood. Why do blacks have a broken family? A white person were to come up and say, you know, black America really needs to get its act together and stop sleeping around all the time, and it needs to actually have
Why would you?
Because it's true. When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Black America is worse than it has been in the last 80 years. What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them? Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. And they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? Things got worse since the Civil Rights Act. More violent.
Some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. Okay. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction.
Changes that we've seen, but frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, you know, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't was painful.
What's that?
That was painful.
Yeah, that
was it.
Oh.
So the reason what inspired me to make that video, guys, was that I started seeing posts on Facebook of all my MAGA friends, especially, and these are people these are very smart people, like people who are lawyers and doctors. And they started posting after they were all distraught about Charlie Kirk being killed, and they blamed the left because we use so much violent rhetoric. They said that the right never does that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to smack that on their Facebook page. Like, show me videos where the left talks like that. But what do you think the theme of that video was, basically? Like, what'd you get out of it, guys?
I mean,
it was a lot.
Clearly, they're demonizing constantly. I mean, it's just they're demonizing.
Yeah, you see a pattern. I mean, and then there's probably a million more. They talk like that every single day.
You turn to convince people that, other side's evil, and then it doesn't matter what they do. That's why, you can do anything because they just see it. That's why they started the whole pedophile thing, because there's nothing worse than that. And that's backfiring because it's clear he's the pedophile. But for the longest time, they were saying Democrats were pedophiles because there's nothing worse. And it doesn't matter. Anything that he does doesn't matter. They're pedophiles. So it's like now.
Yeah, you just keep repeating it over and over again, and your base is going to start believing it, correct? It's all psychological.
But I have a couple of MAGA friends that I still talk with.
Okay.
And a couple left. Too many
left. What? Facebook?
Yeah, just Facebook, and just kind of just privately, and I try to convince and talk. And I felt like the Epstein stuff certainly did put a dent. The first thing that ever did a dent, nothing ever mattered because it was like just the way that we'd excuse anything and just kind of keep moving that goalpost. It's just your jaws on the floor constantly, and just it's exhausting. I don't know why I do it. I'm a punishment, I guess.
So after you saw the video, would you both agree that that the right, like MAGA, uses a lot of violent rhetoric and hate?
Yeah, of course. We knew that for a long time. Like, just paying attention. This has been ongoing forever.
And guns and their videos and ads and everything.
I never realized, though, just how much Charlie Kirk sounds like Edward Norton in American History X.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
To hear those couple things, that he could have played him. That would have been great.
But people but it's. I can't understand why do people thought like Charlie Kirk is an angel. They don't think he talked like that, and there's a whole video.
I'm sure there's lots of video that you could pull up that he says, "Oh, that's totally reasonable." Oh, that's kind of because I mean, I'm sure he said some nice things. It's not black and white, he's just not out there. But so and what they're giving in their feeds and their algorithms, they're not seeing that stuff. Yeah. Like it's actually one of my friend that I talk with. Like they never saw stuff like any of the Januaries. I was actually able to get them to sit down and watch the HBO documentary on January 6th.
Okay.
And they didn't know about any of that stuff because they're not getting that information. They're not getting.
What was some of the big things
completely different? They're getting a completely different information, and this has happened time and time again. They're not seeing any of the footage of Charlie Kirk of these comments. They don't believe it because they don't see it. And what they're seeing on their feed is all these just really nice things that he says. So of course they're going to see him as this, because I guarantee we could, if we scrubbed it, we'd probably see some things like, yeah, he's a reasonable guy because he's a good-looking, cool dude, and he seems like a, but you put a nice face on it and just like and a calm demeanor, and you can sell anyone anything. That's why I'm worried about JD Vance, because he could just.
It works the same way in my feed too with the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
I see constantly how good they're doing, and then I look up their record and I'm like, oh shit, because all I see is them posting, like Joe Schmo hit a home run, this and that. Right. It all looks good, and it makes me feel like there's a truth that I'm seeing there, but in reality they're losing, half or more than half of their games. But it works the same way in politics or following someone like Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and it's just crazy of all these right-wing politicians talk and the actions that they do, this behavior, yet it's Kimmel and Colbert who suffer from this.
Well, there's money to be made in hate too. It's like, I guess I wonder how much money like the social media platforms made after Charlie Kirk was killed, because everyone's on there and it's feeding like all this hate, and everyone's just, so there's a lot of money. I feel like they're just, it sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, And I was talking to Andy before you got on, Patrick, that I asked ChatGPT, do fascists thrive on tragedies?
They
And what
cash
do
in
you
on
think?
it, and they thrive on it, and they use it, and there's a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it gave me 5 bullet points here, Patrick. It said, creating a climate of fear. It says, fascists often frame tragedies as proof that society is under existential threat from enemies within or outside. This fear allows them to present themselves as the only force capable of restoring order and safety. We heard that constantly. You heard it from Trump. You heard it from Trump Jr. You heard it from our buddy Stephen Miller.
And they paint themselves as victims.
Yeah, all the time.
They're victims.
And another thing, they constantly blame others. It says that they exploit disasters or crisis to scapegoat minority groups, immigrants, political opponents, or ideological rivals. By channeling public anger toward a chosen enemy, fascists deflect criticism from systematic failures and rally support around exclusionary policies. Do you agree with that?
Which fits right in with what I told you about the Reichstag fire, was that it wasn't even a German, it was a Dutch communist that set that fire.
Oh, really?
And Hitler used that tragedy of the burning to round up his political opponents, the left-leaning people in Germany during that time.
Yeah, and they seem like they already started to do it with Kirk, correct?
Yeah.
They're escalating things even more.
Oh, yeah.
And then the third one is undermining democratic norms. Tragedies are used to justify extraordinary powers, such as censorship, mass surveillance, suspension of right, or violent crackdowns. These measures are framed as temporary, but often become permanent. Agree?
You condition them, and you just slowly take little bits away, a little bit, and you don't realize it, and then all of a sudden you look around like everything's fucking gone. What the fuck?
I know, right? The fourth one is propaganda and myth making. Fascist movements reframe tragedies into national myths. They glorify the suffering of their people while erasing or minimizing the suffering of others. This strengthens a narrative of unity, sacrifice, and destiny that supports authoritarian rule.
The last
one, what's that, Andy?
I was going to say the last two you've read fits perfectly into the 9/11 tragedy and what the Bush administration did. You know, we all felt something on 9/11. You know, we lost 3,000 people, but the administration, the corporate news media, they never talked about the 100 or more thousands that we killed in Iraq because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the connection between Al Qaeda, who committed that act, and Iraq, and there was no connection. So, we don't talk about it. We minimize all that and just focus on the tragedy of the 3,000 or so people we lost.
Good one. And then the fifth final one is mobilization and militarization. Crisis give fascist leaders opportunities to militarize society through paramilitary groups, mass rallies, or compulsory service, presenting hardship as a call to collective strength and obedience.
Well, fabricating, crises too. They're just fabricating them now.
Yeah. I mean,
so
are we getting closer to fascism?
We're there.
Yeah, I agree. I
think we're there already.
In real time?
Yeah. It's like that quote you read right in the beginning here.
It
can happen quickly.
I think it's going to take it to get a lot worse before anything gets better. It's going to take it because people are still asleep. They're like, but I think it's going to have to get a lot worse before this gets better.
And so what do you think about all the things that happened since the assassination of Charlie Kirk?
I'm sorry?
What's has happened so far? Has things escalated since the death of Charlie Kirk, trying to make it more fascist?
I feel so. Even friends that I feel like it's really kind of galvanized the sides again, because I think the Epstein stuff was kind of finally chipping away a little bit. I felt
right,
and it just kind of brought it back. It just I feel like it was just oh, we forgot about that, and then now it's like we're demonized again, and they've forgotten about that, and because I can see that in my friend that that I'm speaking with, that I chat with, and I can just feel instantly. It was like I felt like they were coming out of the fog a little bit, and now they're right back in it. And I called them out on it. And it was like,
yeah, isn't it coincidental though that something like this happened during the thick of the entire Epstein drama?
It was a distraction Trump needed. He's been trying and he's been waiting for it, and it finally happened to get people's minds off of his connection to Epstein.
No, I don't think he's sophisticated enough to do this. I mean,
I know, right?
I think he just needs to stay out of prison. That's the only thing. And
Trump?
he doesn't understand the any of this. He's not a smart person. But there are people around him that they want this to happen. And like people that, I mean.
And so what do you think about after Charlie Kirk's death and then what they did to Jimmy Kimmel?
One more time, I'm sorry.
What do you think about after Charlie Kirk's death, what Trump did with Jimmy Kimmel?
What do I think about that?
Yeah.
I think he keeps on going a little too far, and I think he's going to push people because I mean this seems to also getting people to wake up a little bit because this is even people on the right are saying.
I know you heard about Ted Cruz today, right?
Ted Cruz or Shapiro, what's his name?
Ben Shapiro.
No,
yeah, Shapiro, the podcaster.
Yep, the podcaster. A bunch of other. They're kind of like no, and I just feel like he's. I mean, obviously he's gone too far.
He's overreaching.
He's definitely overreaching, and
but with everybody at this point.
Yeah. So I don't know where this is going to go. Now I'm hearing that that Jimmy might be back on TV next week, but I don't think that's going to happen. If I were him, I'd be like, "Fuck you."
But they probably want him to apologize, right, and not talk about politics.
For what?
I know, right? But I think that's what Trump wants.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
You think Disney will make Kimmel do that? You think Kimmel will do it, or
no? I don't.
They'll allow Kimmel. Kimmel will say, "Fuck that," and they're like, "Okay, we'll let you back on anyway." What do you think will happen? What's your prediction?
I think that him and Colbert should start their own online situation and just say fuck the big companies, and just like everything, it's like that's kind of the next thing anyways, because the big companies, they can do their AI shit and they can make their AI actors, and fuck that shit. Everything's going to be independent and people will be able to do stuff that's cheaper and made by humans. So maybe I don't know. This is all like everything's happening all at once. AI.
I know. Let's find out what happens with
everything all at the worst time. Why is he always president on these giant why did he have to be president during COVID? Why does he have to be a president when we're fucking AI is on the cusp of becoming sentient? I mean, what the fuck? What are the chances of this shit? It's like you couldn't have responsible people during those times. It's fucking stupid.
Oh my God, it's crazy. And then we'll see what happens with Fallon and Seth Meyers as well.
I think I called Disney because I wanted to talk to someone and just say, hey, when I didn't do it on my online, I called them up and said, I'm canceling my thing. And I was like, is this happening a lot? Because I was actually on hold for a while to even talk to someone. Because there are very lot of calls right now. And they're like,
get this straight. You called Disney Plus.
Yes, to cancel because I just wanted to verbally say it. It just was
okay.
It was.
And you got a hold of a representative.
Yep, and I spoke to them.
And
they totally understand. Like they're like, yeah, we're getting a lot of calls.
Really,
a lot of cancellations right now.
Okay, so should I cancel?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, let's see if I can get that done then. Okay, let's go back here. Don't worry that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Where is it?
On the right.
Right here on the right.
On the right side.
Cancel subscription right there.
Yeah, you got to do ESPN and Hulu too. And then
I don't have.
Get rid of cable. I got rid of cable. You're not going to miss cable. I thought I'd miss it, and I don't miss it at all. I haven't had it for a year.
Screw you, Disney. There we go. How about that, guys? I did it, guys. You saw that live.
You did it for
We're All Gonna Die podcast. There we go. Okay. I just needed y'all guys to hold my hand. That was rough, okay? But I have till October 7th, it said. So I can still watch my last.
You can change your mind. You can change your mind.
Alien Earth.
Well, they could
be able to finish Andor. Well, I can finish it. I got a few more weeks to watch Andor.
Here's Disney is like they have Star Wars, they got Captain America, they got Avengers, all these things that are fighting against tyranny and shit. Your properties would not agree with. You just fucking had Andor, and it's exactly what that story. And you're going to fucking capitulate. It's just ridiculous. It's like Disney. What are you doing? Your brand is not to fight. It's supposed to fight.
So you're telling me you're not going to take the kids now to Disneyland?
We just went on last Friday, so we're good.
Oh,
we literally just went to Disneyland on Friday for their birthday, and I'm glad because I would have canceled it had this happened.
Well, good. Got you one more in. Why do you think, in the video you saw, especially Don Jr. and all the other right wingers, they were blaming the left lunatics about we were to get rid of free speech, but yet that's what they're doing to us.
Because they're full of shit. I don't know if there's everything they do is hypocritical. I mean, their base is too dumb to fucking see it because they just go along with it, and it's just
Well, how about like smart people, like my parents, my friends who are doctors and lawyers?
I don't think they're smart.
So my business partners, like they can easily do the research and find this stuff's not true. Like they've all these people who I think should know better start telling me conspiracy theories and backing things that Don Jr. says and Stephen Miller. It's just because they want to stay racist. I don't understand.
Yeah, probably. I really don't. I'll sooner understand neuroscience than I will understand the mind of what.
Or is there some hypnotic device in Fox News?
There may be
that people just start when they watch it. It's kind of like the Halloween 3 when you wear the mask and you saw the thing on the TV, you turn into the demon or whatever, the season of the witch.
I think it has a lot to do with like our education system. Like I probably have mentioned this before, but like you say that they're really smart, and they probably are really smart, really good lawyers and really good doctors, but that doesn't help them with like media literacy or understanding, the politics and things like that. So their smartness is compartmentalized.
Do they lack? Do these people, if you look at them, do they lack the ability to have empathy for other people or put themselves in other people's shoes?
You think, I mean, a lot of them have, families, they have kids and stuff.
But no, that's their kids. But for other people that are not them or their family or their friends, do they have empathy?
I don't know. Maybe there's a slight racism and they just don't want to accept. But some people still, like even my family thinks like that the Republicans are still conservatives. And what's conservative about them anymore? There's nothing. They've kicked all those people out.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's old school.
Remember when they all about the deficit and cry about we can't pass anything, so you have to, shrink the deficit, and now we just exploded it so rich people can get bigger tax breaks.
They don't care. They don't care about it. They don't stand for anything.
I mean, do you think that's why they dismantled so much things that we need in this country, like healthcare?
They want to privatize everything. They want to trash everything, and then they can say, "Oh, look, it doesn't work. It's broken. See, government doesn't work." So then they can privatize it. So they can point to it and say, "See, it doesn't work."
But
so
that means people have to suffer at first, right?
They sabotage it.
Like the vaccinations. If kids don't get vaccinations, lots of people are going to die. They're going to get infected.
Yeah, they don't care about their kids won't.
I don't care.
Yeah, but regular kids, like kids in Florida, for instance, could you imagine living in Florida?
Or rabble, who cares about them?
Or imagine people like a foreign tourist who would come here and go to Disney World and fear that people aren't vaccinated there and you might get a disease.
Yeah.
If you come visit.
They're not in that business.
Like, so you got the West Coast kind of developed a health, I don't know what they call it. I just was, and then also something on the East Coast, New York and up through, I forget what states, but they kind of creating their own little, okay, well, fuck you. If you're going to dismantle the CDC, then we're going to kind of create our own and kind of hopefully keep some of these smart people that they've gotten rid of employed and still working on stuff because they were just all kicked to the freaking wind.
Yeah, and then the woman that they just hired last month, quit because she said she couldn't take RFK Jr., his
that fucking guy
unhinged, behavior.
I think he said he was going to find the cause of autism this month. I think. Did he find it?
Right. No.
What's that?
Did he find it?
I think he's blaming Tylenol.
And do you believe that?
No.
Because you have a child with autism, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you believe the same things that RK Jr. believes about autism?
I mean, he's full of shit, and it's like. It's just going to create a stigma that they don't deserve and they don't need. It's like they're making them like they're broken, and they're not broken. They're just they just think differently, and it's been around forever. It's not been caused by vaccines. It's this vax movement that is just really just shameful stuff. And they just want to make people, they don't care about homeless people. They don't care about people that are disabled.
They want a lethal injection killed.
What's that?
I said they want Kilmeade wants them a lethal injection.
Yeah.
Killed.
They just don't care about people that are that have disabilities. They don't care about people that have
just throw them in a pit and pour
anyone vulnerable, anyone that needs they don't want to pay for anyone's health insurance. They don't want to help anybody. They just feel like.
And then how about FEMA? When natural disasters happen, and most natural disasters in the U.S. happen in red states.
Well, let them happen. Fuck them.
Yeah, when Florida gets all the hurricanes.
Wah.
In Texas.
Wah.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, and then the woman, from the CDC, she was like they thought, they were going to go along with RFK Jr. She's like, man, you've gone way too far. I can't stay here and know that people can die because of me. It's a shame. And then what do you think about, did you see the hearings of Kash Patel this week? Did you watch that?
I saw a little bit.
And what do you think?
I mean, where's Dan Bongino in all this? Where is he?
Where is he?
Where's he hiding? It's like
he's got a partner now. He's got a new coworker.
I have a feeling he wanted to do the right thing, and he's being. What's that?
Which was
to come out, and because he probably saw what was in there. He probably wanted to say something, because where's he been since he threatened to quit?
You haven't seen him at all.
Nope.
Yeah, didn't he have a big quote about what he discovered has changed his life, and he can't go on?
I mean,
he even separated from his wife. He said it's been so traumatizing.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened.
He started crying on Fox News.
Yeah, well,
literally crying.
Maybe he realized he'd been fighting for the wrong side. I don't know. Maybe he had a change of. Maybe he found his soul. I don't know. But now he's stuck, and he has all these people that'll fucking. Do you think there's people in the Supreme Court that are in Epstein list? Maybe that's. Also?
I don't know. I mean, do you think the Supreme Court should start allowing everything? I mean, they're pretty much giving away.
Maybe there's someone out there that
Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why. I mean, maybe Thomas or Alito or one of those fuckers are on the Epstein list too.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of donors. I heard.
Sotomayor. I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, please don't kid. But I'm sure there's a lot of MAGA donors, like Super PAC people.
And I'm sure there's probably Democrats on there too.
Yeah, but what do you think about that? I hate when people try to hit you with that, and you're like, I don't care, man. If somebody's done something this bad, they need to take the consequences.
Yep, doesn't matter.
We're not in a cult, man. We're not going to try to protect someone who did something wrong. Correct?
Correct.
Oh my goodness. And then what's going to happen next? I mean, are they going to take over the big cities? What can we do?
Well, he failed in Chicago, right?
Has anything happened in Chicago?
I think Trump gave up.
Now they're in
Memphis.
Where are they? Memphis?
They're in Memphis and Chicago, I think, right now, and maybe a little of New Orleans. But I think something like Chicago or somewhere that I saw where the ICE ran through a bunch of people in their cars like today.
I didn't see that. Wow.
Yeah, it's been pretty violent. I mean, what do you expect when guys in math are working, privately for Trump, right? And there are probably a lot of racist and Proud Boys and things like that.
Probably employed some of the people from January 6th that he fucking pardoned.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And Dean Cain, Superman.
Imagine getting chased by Dean Cain. You see that video?
I guess he got hurt the first day or something.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he broke his arm or something. I don't know. He did something. I remember seeing something that.
Patrick, why don't you go undercover as ICE?
Fuck that.
And be a mole.
Oh, that'd be a mole. Oh, there you go.
That'd be kind of cool.
And then
you could record them and just get them all on tape saying,
Well, is anyone
you think so?
Move On is going to have another protest on October 18th. Will you all be attending?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw this recently.
I hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah. I'm not. I brought Miles down to the AOC Bernie rally. And
you did?
Yeah.
You see Neil Young?
But I won't. I'm not going to bring him down anymore.
Did you bring him to the one in the summer on Trump's birthday, the No Kings one?
Yes, and we left.
What? Oh, where was that one?
That was downtown.
Oh, you actually went to the downtown one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, okay, this is not what the other one was, so we left.
We attended the Culver City one, and that was pretty. There was a lot of people, but it was very tame.
Well, because we could smell like tear gas in the air, like.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh no, we didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think there were like police or anybody in our area.
Yeah.
But there had to be thousands of people there.
So we kind of just there was like a bridge there we were watching, and all these police cars were swooping in. Like we were just like, what?
How long were you there?
What's that?
How long were you there?
About a half an hour, and then we left.
That's it.
Yeah, like we got there, and it was just was quiet, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. I was like, wow, okay. And he got closer down towards the jail cell. We kind of were walking, and then some people were like, I would turn around. There's kind of tear gas. I'm like, yeah. And then we saw all these other people with their kids coming out too. Like everyone fucking was just getting really.
So will you be taking the family to the next one?
No.
Just you? Okay. How about you, Andy?
Yeah, I was going to. I just found out about this the other day, and I was going to hit you up about getting together.
Yeah, I've been taking their classes online to get certified to help with the protest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We should go downtown though.
I always do the downtown one. And I always notice that there's no news copters overhead. They're nobody showing it. I mean, you have this massive rally, and you look up at the sky, and there's no news copters. Like, wow, what's that about?
What is that about?
They obviously they don't want to show it, and they're in the pockets of these people. They are. I don't know if they're pressured, but the local. I don't know what it is. But it's very weird.
Well, local news is usually ABC or CBS, so they don't want to upset Trump by showing. Yeah, they don't want to upset Trump by showing what it's like there.
And it's been like that for the Bernie rally. And I'm just like, where's the coverage? You're just like, what the fuck?
I know, right? But yet, my parents call me and are worried that they heard that LA is, burning down.
One block. It was one fucking block.
I know it was. But, on Fox, they said, like, LA's burning, and Trump constantly says he saved LA from the burning riots.
Thanks, guy.
But he didn't save us from the actual fires in January. It was already contained, and he decided to turn on the faucet up in Northern California and pretty much flood all of Middle California, Central California. And if they were about to drain 2 more reservoirs up there. And if they had to stop them and tell them that if this happens, they could flood cities in Central California. So he didn't do it.
Yeah, remember the lakes that came back to life after 75 years because of that? You could drive on the highway through the middle of the lake because the highway was just raised a little bit enough.
But the water doesn't even make it to LA. And he said he saved LA. And people on the East Coast believe it. And then when the protests were happening earlier this summer, people were families were calling me, well, you heard LA's burning down. And I'm like, obviously you watch Fox News because that's the only information we're going to get that.
My brother texted me. He's like, how are the riots? And it just pissed me off. I mean, I was just like, it's not a riot, dude. It's not a riot. Okay. My brother's conservative. He's not a Trumper. He actually voted for Biden.
Okay.
So I don't know I haven't talked to him about this last election. I don't want to know, but he called it and it actually triggered me and we got in this long fucking. I don't want to know.
And did you hear today? Trump was talking. First, he talked, and a black female reporter asked him a question, and he told her to shut up, and she's obnoxious. And she was just like all the other reporters, because they have that speak up to get his attention. President Trump, and he looked at the woman and just said, "Shut up! You're obnoxious. I'm not talking to you."
Wow.
And they said that he's that way with every black female reporter.
I didn't see that.
And then he started talking about he's going to close the country, close U.S., whatever that means, because he's going to attack all the liberal cities. What's he mean closing the country? Like no one's allowed in?
No one's allowed out either.
You think that's going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Is he getting that crazy? Does he know he's close to death? He's getting desperate? Like, what's going on?
He can only hope he dies before, he gets arrested again. If he leaves office,
there's no satisfaction in that, though. He gets off easy.
Right.
I just want.
Now we have JD Vance.
Is that so much to ask to have some accountability for these fuckers? All of them.
It'll never happen. I mean, what's going to happen when JD Vance takes over?
I would like to think that he will not have the pull, the
charisma
on the MAGA people just because he's a fucking thumb, and I don't. It's he's a cult of personality, and I just hope with Trump, and I don't think he has.
Trump was a cold personality,
yeah,
definitely.
So
I bet some people will wake up like, who is this?
I hope, but hey, I've been hoping for fucking 11 years now. Something. So, what do I know?
But JD Vance does not have the charisma like Trump does. You have to admit.
No, I just don't. I that's what I'm hoping, but who the fuck knows? Maybe this Charlie Kirk stuff, it's going to play in their favor. It's going to help them. It does nothing but that fire them up and make them hate us more, and they'll follow anybody. It's really unfortunate that happened. That was just a dark day. It was a black day, and I feel for he's got kids.
Right.
It's terrible, and being a dad is it's terrible. It's fucking awful.
And do you think Kimmel is going to donate to his company? What's it called again?
Turning Points?
Turning Point USA.
Kurt's company? Turning Points USA.
Turning Points USA?
Yeah.
Is that like the podcast, or what is that company pretty much about?
It started out as like it was for him to go to schools. Basically, he was like the student rallier for the right to create a movement of, students, university students to become the next generation of conservatives.
Yay.
And did you hear about the texts of the killer Tyler Robinson, I guess, with his roommate? And they kept reading it out, and people think it's fake text.
Yeah, but
and you've heard it. It sounds pretty hokey.
It
too.
sounds so bad, but to do that, I mean, I've been hearing some people talk about that, and if they were to fabricate something like that, eventually with all the discovery and all the the prosecutors and the defendants, and the whole thing, they would be going pretty deep. And if they found that it was fake, they would have to throw the whole case out. And so there's just no. I'm starting to.
But there are a lot of incompetent people.
It's too risky.
DOJ and FBI.
It's too risky. It would throw the whole case out and be like, no.
But the good thing is they're not the smartest people working in the FBI and DOJ.
That's true. Well, let's hope that that's the case then. Let's hope that's the case, because the case would be over and they set the guy free. It's just too.
Because they would need to see the other people's phones.
What's that?
They would need to see the other people's phones.
Well, there's ways, metadata and all the.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying they would have to do it.
Yeah.
To match it up, to see if this conversation matched.
Yeah. So
on both sides, correct?
I don't think it's fake for that reason, but maybe they're dumber than I even think.
Part of me thinks they are. The good thing is they kind of are. But it's just like, I mean, look at Kash Patel, man.
How the fuck did we get here?
How did we get here? And do you think the FCC guy,
Brendan McCarr?
Yeah, and he said like, oh, we could do it the easy way, or we could do it the hard way, like a mafioso.
It sounds like a threat.
It was totally a threat. Do you agree, Patrick?
It threatened
he was part of the whole Project 2025 thing, isn't he?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Well,
what is the end game of Project 2025?
Control and just fucking break everyone fucking, I don't know.
Make money.
Yeah, money.
Power. Is it all about money?
Money and power.
They don't care about the people?
No, they're not religious. No, there's nothing Jesus like about any of those guys.
And do you think America is going to suffer a lot before they realize they've been burned?
Yeah.
Even his own people?
Yep.
Yeah. Will it come sooner or later?
Hopefully it comes fast and quick. We can suffer really bad for a short amount of time and wake people up quick and get this over with. That's what I hope. It's going to get I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets.
Really? Like, what's your prediction?
I can't imagine. It's already far worse than I could have imagined. It's way, like, I've been screaming all this stuff for fucking 11 years, and everything, there's nothing that I've ever said. I don't think that there's nothing hyperbolic that I have ever said. And people are like, oh, you're overreacting. For 10 years, oh, you're overreacting. You're just fucking, what, really? Am I? No. I was exactly right. And as were a lot of people, and it's like, I don't know where this can go, because it's already worse than I thought it would even be. And I thought it was going to be pretty bad. That after he won, I was like, oh, this is going to suck. And it's already worse than I could imagine. So I have no idea.
Yeah, but what they also don't understand the consequences of everything either. I think they're so irrational at times and fast moving. They don't understand what the consequences of things are, because we've got the World Cup coming up next year. And if things get worse, you think people want to come here for the World Cup or the Olympics in a few years?
Spain already threatened to pull out if something. They threatened to pull out to FIFA if FIFA didn't do something to protect, people from the other countries and when they come here.
I wish Trump's dad would have pulled out.
That's a good one. So what can we do? Do you have hope, Patrick? Do you have hope?
No.
Oh, but what can you do for your children?
Well, I got my Canadian citizenship.
Okay.
My parents were both Canadian, and apparently that made me automatically Canadian, and I didn't know that. And I applied earlier this year. I got my certificate. Let me see. Was it right here? Yeah. Well, I shouldn't. You could blur it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, or just kind of like hold it down or something. We believe you, but.
I just got it all framed.
Blur it out.
Citizenship.
Don't move it so fast. It'll be harder for me to blur it out.
So And
you couldn't see anything when he moved it that fast.
Okay, good. Okay, I want to make sure.
Except you could make out the Canadian leaf. So that's what's most important.
So, I mean, there's always that option.
How long will you stay here, and then what's the breaking point?
Maybe next year if we don't win back the House.
You think we can do it?
I do if some other states start fighting back and start gerrymandering the fuck out of it for a purpose, you know, like what Newsom's been doing and what you know.
And if the military don't get involved in the polling stations,
So
that's what I'm feared the most.
oh yeah, it's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna get ugly.
You think so?
Like it already is. Guy just was killed last week.
What happened?
Well, Kirk just, you know, I mean.
Oh, Kirk. Okay, yeah.
It's already ugly.
So, do you think the guy was a political assassination, or you think the guy was just crazy and obsessed with Kirk?
I don't think he had any. I mean, he came from a MAGA family, so I mean, I'm sure that plays a part because he comes from a gun family. But he's not MAGA. My parents were conservative. I was influenced by them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not conservative, so I'm sure he was influenced by his upbringing, but then influenced also by other things. And I don't think you could just put him into a box. So I think it's lame. I think it's fucking lame that anyone that shoots anybody, I don't care where, you're fucking crazy. Why is it so hard? Why you gotta fucking say, oh, it's Democrats? How do they blame a whole party for that? I don't get it.
What gets me is how they keep calling the Democrats fascist. And fascism is a far right movement.
It's projecting because they're always doing that. Everything that they say is they're projecting what they're doing.
I can understand communism because that's definitely on the far left side, extreme far left. But fascism's nowhere in the left side.
Oh, they say it is because of what? Because we made them get shots, which we didn't. We didn't mandate shots, but they still look at COVID like the way that was handled, which was under Trump, by the way. But they say that was fascism. Protecting the public health is fascism. We're trying to fucking save people here on something that we didn't know how it worked. And
they also called Obama a Nazi for giving people health care or forcing people to get health care.
It's so fucking radical.
Oh my God. Oh, and another last thing is you heard today about the prosecuting attorney that they had against Letitia James. He's like quitting or getting fired because he could find no wrongdoing of any fraud from Letitia James.
I did hear about that.
Did you hear about that, Patrick?
I didn't hear about this.
Oh yeah, the what is he like that?
They hired I think a special prosecutor.
Yeah, from Virginia, Northern Virginia.
To investigate Letitia James, and he reported back saying that he couldn't find any evidence of any kind of
fraud.
Yeah, fraud or not kosher behavior, and so now he's getting fired or something.
Yeah, getting fired.
Well, I mean, they also didn't he fire somebody because of the numbers that he gave out for job numbers and too.
Right.
Yeah, a statistician. You just give it numbers. So I don't even get that. So they want someone to. Then they got a new person, and now the numbers are even worse. The stats are worse.
The worst thing, and Jimmy Kimmel knows this, the worst thing is if you make Trump look bad, that's a problem.
So people are going to lie about the economy, about employment, about disease. So people don't even how can you invest in anything? How could you put stock in, and how could this help any companies?
You'll say anything
about stats.
You'll say anything when you're on the Epstein list, I guess.
Right? How can that help companies when you're dependent on shareholders? But how can you invest anything if you don't know the truth about employment and economy?
I don't think they care too much about corporate economic stability. It's I think Steve Bannon said it. They want chaos because criminals, mafiosos, they thrive in chaos.
Well, it's easier to catch you to stop you from one crime, but if you have 1,000 going on, it's no, you can't get them.
So while chaos happens, they're just going to steal all our money?
Yeah, Steve Bannon should be in jail right now. He stole, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Build the Wall thing.
Well, he did do time.
Yeah, he did do time.
Not for that. He was pardoned
for scamming all those people.
I thought he was pardoned for that.
He went to jail for that. That's what he did. That's what he did the time for, right?
I thought he did his time just for lying to the FBI or something like that. That's why it was such a little.
Maybe right. There's been so many things.
I think that's right. I think because
you might be right. But he went for
Trump did
something.
hard, but yeah, when there's chaos, they can, when there's nobody looking into Bitcoin, you could just run a Bitcoin scam and make millions of dollars.
He makes billions, and then the people who paid like hundreds for the Bitcoin, now it's only worth like $1.
Yeah.
So why do people keep investing into these Trump Bitcoins or meme coins?
Because they're the same fanatics that voted for him. They trust him.
And they're losing thousands of dollars.
Well, the more they lose, the more they'll snap out of it and realize, hopefully. But who knows?
Now he wants to charge $100,000 for people to have this, HP1 visa, this work visa.
Yeah, that's to get smart immigrants to come here, right?
Yeah, but then he puts them in detention too, just like the Hyundai people. Yeah, but like engineers and technicians who came here to build a plant, an EV battery plant, and you chain them up on shackles and make them drink from dog bowls.
See, I don't like that immigration policy, because I think instead of it's because these rich, really extremely rich people don't want to pay any taxes. They don't want to educate Americans, because we could make the smartest people in the world and then not have to immigrate, but they'd rather have China pay for this education and bringing these smart people up, and then we'll just bring them over here. It costs them less.
Now, is this $100,000 visas, is that going straight into the U.S. economy, or is that going straight to Trump?
That's a good
question.
It's going
to that with him and Stephen Miller.
That guy.
Oh God, he's terrible. You think he's pulling the strings of Trump?
I have no idea.
They're just telling Trump to talk. Just say this stuff since you're the mouth.
I mean, he doesn't know what he's talking about half the time. And where?
It's hard. It's hard to wrap your head around all this craziness. It's
like, have you left the country at all since Trump's been in office?
No.
Yeah, like when Maria and I went to Eastern Europe this year, like they do not like. I didn't see any people who like Trump.
Well, I talked
like when I was in Budapest at all the markets, they had all these T-shirts which I was surprised. They even it had these like dictator shirts, and they were all like either Orban, Putin, or Trump. And I was like, God, I can't believe they can even sell those here. Like they were everywhere. They were all over Budapest and Hungary.
And Thomas is in Denmark, back in Denmark, and he's just watching from afar,
Yeah, what do they think about that and the Greenland thing?
He's like, come on over. Water's fine.
He just wants to start wars, just like blowing up all these like fishermen in the ocean off Venezuela.
I hope we don't have to go fight Thomas. That sucks. Get to go to war.
I'm not fighting.
Of course not.
I have bone spurs in my knee.
There's no way, Andy. None of us are going to be there. It's okay. It's not fighting. They probably make us go first anyway, since we're old and Democrat.
Yeah, but my nephew is a freshman in high school right now, so I'm a little worried about him.
He's a freshman already in high school?
Yeah.
Well, he's an only child, so they go last.
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
good.
good.
You don't draft an only child and put him on the front line.
Trump would.
Well, true. Is your sister a Democrat?
Yeah, but her husband voted for Trump this time.
Oh,
this time? Who does that? It's like taking. I'm 56 years old. I'm going to take up smoking. It's like, what the fuck?
Well,
Who does it? I just don't get that.
I haven't talked to him about it much, but the reason he gave was that he was financially better off during the first Trump term than he was during the Biden term.
Well, yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. When Trump was at all his campaign rallies this past year, and you know that story about the snake?
So many people are asking, you ready? The snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake.
Do you think he's telling people that he's the snake?
Yes.
Is that why he tells the story?
Yes. He loves the poorly educated. Come on.
That you think he knows he's the snake?
Yes. That's all he does is project.
Like, you let me inside your house?
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yes.
I'm a snake.
Yes.
Yeah, think about it.
Everything is projection. And, they probably started the whole pedophile thing about Democrats are pedophile. That probably came from somebody in the Trump thing because they knew that fucking Trump was, and they have to project it onto other people. Otherwise, they're going to fucking come for it. I don't know.
Yeah, let's start it in the dark web, in the QAnon web.
Yeah, no, that's the greatest thing about Q is that it was actually kind of right. It just had the wrong party.
It's the wrong fucking party.
Well, that's probably because they were trying to push it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And feed it to all these guys who never leave the house with no social cues. And so they just get stuck in this dark web world and start believing all this stuff, and it's crazy. So hopefully
it's gonna get weird.
All right, everyone. Well, I want to thank everyone for being on this show. Patrick, thanks for being our special guest on this episode. And Andy, I are very appreciative, and I hope you can come back on again in the future, okay?
That's lovely.
All right, for everyone, this is Merlin and Andy, and also our guest, Patrick. We Are All Gonna Die, episode 5. We'll see you on the episode. Is it 5 or 6, Andy? 6?
6.
Yeah, I think I effed up. So this is episode 6. We'll see you on the next show. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button, leave some comments to make sure we get into your algorithms and not some QAnon podcasters telling you some crazy conspiracy theories. We're just telling you the facts, showing you straight up what it's all about. And we'll tell you on the next thing. Hopefully we're still around. See y'all, everyone. Bye-bye.
District pop-up art is turning heads on the National Mall. It's a statue depicting the president and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein set up on the lawn near 3rd Street overnight.
Well, Annalisa, they're certainly out here trying to get people's attention. That's really the point of this. Now, this is not the first statue like this to pop up on the mall. In fact, the group behind it has popped up other ones like this going after the president. This specific one focusing in on that alleged relationship between the president and Epstein.
I'm on my way home, walking home from the doctor's office, and surprise!
At the National Mall, people stopping, staring, and snapping photos.
I think it's fantastic. I took some pictures. I'm sending them to my sister down in North Carolina.
The 12-foot-tall statue depicts the president and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein holding hands, along with a plaque that reads, "In honor of Friendship Month, we celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein."
It's hilarious. It's entirely appropriate. Two of them are, bound at the hip.
2 other plaques include quotes from a birthday note allegedly written by the president to Epstein. The White House has denied the letter is legitimate.
The president did not write this letter. He did not sign this letter.
The pop-up comes nearly 2 weeks after the Senate voted 51-49 against a bill that would have forced the public release of case files related to the sex trafficking investigation into Epstein. Those files, dubbed the Epstein files.
I think there are probably a lot of people in it, and like all, devious stuff, whoever's in it, it should all come to light, either side.
I think it's something that people should not forget.
Onlooker Joey Poole calling the statue a reminder of what's at stake.
I think that we should hold our leaders accountable if they indeed are in there.